Hello, my dear friend. Before we begin this important message, I want to ask you something. If this message speaks to your heart, please subscribe to God's messages to the world. Click that subscribe button right now. This channel brings you messages that can change your life, messages that help you understand what is happening in your heart and soul. Don't wait. Subscribe now so you never miss a message meant for you. Today is another day we have met to share the word of God. O child of God, if you are healthy, then I ask you to take a minute to thank God and pray for others who are facing health challenges. Today I have brought you a serious message from God. I ask you to listen to me very carefully, listen to me, then comment and share this video with other people so that they can hear this message. Now let me share something very important with you. Please do not skip this video, stay with me until the very end. I know you are busy, I know you have many things to do, but trust me when I say this, something very big is waiting for you in this message, something you need to hear right now. Stop for just a moment, take a deep breath, feel what is happening around you right now. There is something in the air, something you have felt but could not explain with words. You have sensed it but you did not understand it fully. That is okay, today you will understand. Do not move your finger to skip this video. Stay right here with me. What I am about to tell you will change how you see everything that is happening in your life right now. Major revelation. There is someone in your life, maybe they are close to you, maybe they are just outside your life watching from a distance. This person thinks about you, not just sometimes, not just once in a while, they think about you again and again and again. Their thoughts keep coming back to you like waves coming back to the shore. They cannot stop thinking about you even when they try. This is not just simple admiration. This is not curiosity that will fade away after a few days or weeks. No, my friend, this is something much deeper. This is something much stronger. This is an intensity, a powerful feeling that even surprises them. They did not expect to feel this way about you. They replay your words in their mind over and over. They remember things you said. They remember how you looked at them. They remember small moments that you might have already forgot. They imagine conversations with you, conversations that never really happened. They create these talks in their mind. They wonder what it would be like to talk to you more freely, to be closer to you, even if just for one moment, even if just for one conversation without all the barriers that stand between you now. Please stay with me, do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you at the end of this message. Here is the part that changes everything. Listen carefully now. This connection between you and this person exists in silence. It lives in quiet moments. It grows in the shadows. Why? Because this connection is not supposed to exist at all. Let me say that again so you understand fully. This connection is forbidden. There are reasons why this person cannot be with you openly. There are reasons why this feeling must stay hidden. Reasons that involve other people. Reasons that involve responsibilities. Reasons that involve commitments that were made before you came into the picture. You may have felt this in strange ways. Maybe you felt a sudden heavy feeling when their name came into your mind. You were doing something else, thinking about something else, and suddenly their name appeared in your thoughts, and with it came this heavy feeling, this weight on your chest, this pressure in your heart. Or maybe you felt a strange pull toward them at unexpected times, times when it made no sense to think about them. Maybe late at night, maybe early in the morning, maybe in the middle of your busy day. Suddenly they were there in your thoughts, pulling at your attention, demanding space in your mind. Or maybe you felt a quiet discomfort that you could not explain. You felt uncomfortable but you did not know why. You felt restless but there was no clear reason. This discomfort arrived without any explanation that made sense to your logical mind. You did not imagine these feelings. You are not crazy. You are not making things up. This is real. This is a real connection that lives in the shadows. It is hidden for a reason. It is restrained by boundaries. Boundaries that cannot be crossed easily. Boundaries that would cause problems if broken. Do not skip this message. Stay until the very end. Something huge is waiting for you. I promise you that. Deeper understanding. Now let me tell you something that will help you understand this situation better. This relationship is forbidden, but it is not forbidden because it lacks meaning. Let me repeat that. It is not forbidden because it is meaningless or shallow or unimportant. No, this relationship is forbidden because it carries too much meaning. It has too much power, too much intensity, too much potential to change lives. Think about it this way: one or both of you are tied to circumstances. You are connected to responsibilities. You have roles in life that other people depend on. Maybe one of you is married. Maybe one of you is in a committed relationship. Maybe there are work boundaries. Maybe there are family complications. Maybe there are social expectations that would be destroyed if this connection became public. This bond is dangerous to acknowledge openly. It could disrupt lives, not just your lives, other people's lives too. It could break structures that others depend on for their happiness, their security, their peace of mind. And so this connection stays unspoken. It does not fade away like normal attractions do. Instead, it grows stronger in the dark. It becomes more powerful in silence, like a plant that somehow grows without sunlight. It should die, but it does not. It becomes stronger instead. Here is the first thing you absolutely must know. Listen to every word I say now, because this changes how you see everything. Their feelings for you are not impulsive. They are not random. They are not a sudden decision. They did not wake up one morning and decide to feel this way about you. That is not how this happened. This attachment formed slowly, quietly, through moments that seemed ordinary at the time, moments that you might not even remember clearly. Maybe there was a look that lasted 1 second too long. Your eyes met. Something passed between you in that moment, something neither of you expected. A recognition, a connection, a spark that neither of you was looking for. Or maybe there was a conversation that stayed in the heart long after it ended. You talked about something simple, something normal. But the way you talked, the words you chose, the tone of your voice, the understanding you showed, it stayed with them. Days later, weeks later, they still remembered that conversation. They still felt something from it. Or maybe there was a sense of being truly seen. In one moment, you saw them, really saw them, not the role they play, not the mask they wear, not the image they show to the world, but the real person underneath. And they were not prepared for that. They were not ready to be seen that deeply, but you saw them anyway. This is why the feeling is so heavy now. This is why it will not go away easily. This connection has roots, deep roots, roots that go down into the soil of real human connection, real recognition, real understanding. Please do not skip ahead. Stay with me until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They are fighting with themselves more than you know, more than you can see from the outside. On the outside, they may look calm, they may act normal, they may even seem distant or cold or indifferent toward you. But inside, there is a constant war happening, a constant battle, a constant negotiation with themselves. Should they pull away completely? Should they create more distance to protect themselves and others? Should they protect what already exists in their life, the relationships and commitments they already have? Or should they move closer to this feeling? Should they explore it? Should they be honest about it? Should they stop pretending it does not exist? Every single time they choose silence, it costs them something. Every time they see you and say nothing, they lose a little piece of themselves. Every time they feel this pull toward you and resist it, something inside them breaks just a little bit more. This is exhausting for them, even if they never show it, even if they seem fine on the surface. Inside, they are tired from this constant battle. Questions and answers. You may be wondering something right now. You may be asking yourself, why do they not speak? Why do they not take action? If this feeling is so strong, if this connection is so powerful, why does nothing seem to happen? Why does everything stay frozen in this painful place of silence? Understand this very clearly, my friend. Restraint does not mean there is no desire. In fact, restraint often means the exact opposite. It means the desire is very strong, so strong that it is scary. When someone holds back even though they feel strongly, it means they fully understand the consequences. They know what would happen if they spoke honestly. They know what would change if they took action, and the risk is terrifying to them. They know that one honest conversation could change everything forever. One moment of truth could destroy the careful life they have built. It could hurt people they care about. It could break promises they made. It could shatter expectations that others have of them. So they choose silence, not because the feeling is weak, but because the feeling is so strong that acting on it would be like setting off a bomb in their life. There is also something else happening here, something you need to understand about yourself. There is a strange mirror effect in this connection. The reason this connection feels so intense is because it reflects something unfinished within you as well. This person sees a version of you that others overlook. They see your depth, they see your truth, they see a side of you that rarely finds a safe place to exist in the normal world. Most people do not see you this deeply. Most people see your surface, your role, your function in their life. But this person sees more. They see the real you. The you that exists underneath all your roles and responsibilities. The you that has dreams and fears and desires that you rarely speak about out loud. That is why this bond feels different from normal attraction. It does not feel simple or light or easy. It feels charged. It feels significant. It feels almost like fate, like something that was meant to happen even though it should not have happened. Do not skip this message. Stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. But now listen very closely, because this is where the story becomes even deeper. This forbidden connection is not appearing in your life to trap you. It is not here to make you suffer. It is not here to punish you or test you in a cruel way. This connection is appearing to reveal something, to show you something about yourself. It is showing you what kind of energy you carry in this world, what kind of presence you have, what kind of emotional impact you leave behind on people without even trying. You walk through the world being yourself, just being who you are, and without effort, without intention, you awaken things in people. Deep things, hidden things, things they try desperately to keep buried and controlled. This is not about guilt. I am not saying you did something wrong. You did not. This is about awareness. This is about understanding your power, your influence, your effect on others. When someone feels this strongly about you but cannot act on it, it means you have touched a part of them that very few people ever reach in their entire life. You reached a place in their soul that they keep hidden even from themselves most of the time. And that should make you pause, not with fear but with understanding, not with shame but with awareness of who you really are and what you carry in this world. There is tension here for a reason. The silence exists for a reason. The unanswered questions are not accidents. None of this is random. None of this is meaningless. The building toward clarity. This situation is building toward something. It is moving toward a moment of clarity, not chaos, not drama, not an explosion, but clarity, a moment of clear understanding. Something will shift, maybe not through dramatic action, maybe not through a big confrontation or confession, but through realization, through understanding, through awareness finally breaking through the fog of confusion. Either this connection will transform into something safer, something that can exist in the light, or it will dissolve once its message has been fully delivered to both of you. One of these two things will happen, but it will not stay frozen in this painful in-between place forever. Pay attention to how you feel after thinking about this person. Really pay attention. Do you feel empowered or drained? Do you feel calm or restless? Do you feel inspired or uneasy? Do you feel stronger or weaker? Your emotional reaction is a signal. It is telling you something important. This forbidden bond is acting like a mirror. It is revealing what you are ready for in your life, and it is also revealing what you must protect, what you must guard, what you must not give away to someone who cannot fully receive it. Please stay with me. Do not skip to the end. Something huge is waiting for you if you listen to this whole message. For now, right now in this moment, you are not meant to force anything. Do not try to make something happen. Do not push for answers. Do not demand clarity. Silence is part of the lesson you are learning. Distance is part of the design of this experience. What feels unfinished is intentionally unresolved right now. It is supposed to feel this way, because this connection is not here to be rushed. It is not here to be forced into being something it is not ready to be yet. This connection is here to awaken awareness in you, awareness of yourself, of your needs, of your boundaries, of what you truly want in a relationship, of what you will no longer accept or tolerate. And as this unfolds slowly, something else is quietly aligning behind the scenes, something you cannot see yet, a truth about timing, a truth about choice, a truth about what happens when desire meets consequence, when feeling meets reality, when connection meets commitment. You may not see it yet, the full picture may not be clear yet, but you will see it, very soon, sooner than you think. The fog around this situation will begin to thin, it will lift slowly, the confusion will start to clear. And when it does, you will understand. You will understand why this bond appeared exactly when it did, why it came into your life at this specific time, and why it could never remain completely hidden forever, why it had to come to the surface eventually. Do not skip ahead, stay until the end of this message. Something huge is waiting for you. The second revelation. My beloved friend, listen closely now. The silence around this connection is about to start speaking louder than ever before. What you are experiencing is not slowing down. Do not let the quiet fool you. Underneath the surface, this is intensifying. Even if nothing appears to be happening on the outside, even if days pass with no change, even if everything seems frozen and stuck, do not be fooled. Beneath the surface, pressure is building, energy is gathering, something is preparing to emerge. There is a reason this person cannot let you go mentally. Even when they distract themselves with other things, even when they convince others that everything is normal, even when they convince themselves sometimes that they are fine and this feeling will pass, your presence returns to their mind. It returns like an echo they cannot silence, like a song they cannot stop hearing, like a voice that keeps speaking even when everything else is quiet. This is not obsession born from fantasy. This is not some unhealthy fixation. This is recognition, deep soul-level recognition. Something in you aligns with something unresolved in them, something unfinished, something they have been avoiding or running from or trying to bury. And that alignment between what you carry and what they need is powerful enough to disrupt their inner balance, to shake their foundation, to question everything they thought was settled in their life. Here is the second thing you absolutely must know, and this is shocking because it flips the entire story upside down. Listen carefully. This forbidden connection is not only about desire, it is not just about attraction or chemistry or wanting to be together. This is about timing, perfect, painful, necessary timing. If circumstances were different, if the timing was different, this bond would feel effortless. It would feel natural. It would flow easily without resistance. You would come together without all these barriers and complications and fears. But timing has placed a barrier here. And that barrier exists on purpose, not to punish you, not to frustrate you, not to torture you with something you cannot have, but to force awareness before action, to make both of you face truth before you can move forward. Please do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They know this connection carries consequences. That is exactly why they hesitate. That is why they pull back just when things feel closest. Just when it seems like something might finally happen, they retreat, they create distance again, they rebuild the wall. The push and pull you sense is not confusion. It is not them being unclear about what they want. It is control. They are trying to control themselves. They are trying to protect something they already have while being magnetically drawn towards something they cannot ignore. This internal conflict is exhausting for them, even if they never admit it out loud. Even if they never let you see how tired they are, inside they are worn out from this constant battle between what they want and what they think they should do. You may feel this too. You may feel moments of absolute clarity followed by moments of complete doubt. One day it feels obvious, undeniable. You are certain this connection is real and important and meant to be. The next day it feels distant, almost imagined. You wonder if you made it all up in your head. You question everything you thought you knew. This emotional fluctuation, this up and down, is part of the tension. Forbidden connections rarely move in straight lines. They do not progress smoothly from one stage to the next. They move in waves, rising and falling, coming closer and pulling back, testing your emotional strength, testing your patience, testing your self-awareness. Understand this deeply, my friend. You are not meant to chase clarity here. If you chase it, if you push for it, if you demand it, you will collapse the lesson. You will miss the entire purpose of why this is happening. This situation is designed to make both of you confront truth internally before anything external happens. Before any action is taken, before any words are spoken, you must each face the truth inside yourself first. That is why everything feels paused yet charged at the same time, frozen but electric, still but intense. Nothing is moving forward, but everything is building. Do not skip this message, stay until the very end. Something huge is waiting for you. What they see in you. There is also something they see in you that scares them, not because it is dark or dangerous or bad, but because it is honest, because it is real, because it is true. You reflect a version of themselves they have not fully accepted, a part of themselves they buried a long time ago, maybe a life path they did not choose, maybe they had dreams once that they gave up, maybe they had courage once that they suppressed to fit into expectations. Being near you forces them to ask uncomfortable questions about their own choices, about the life they are living, about whether they are truly happy or just comfortable, about whether they are being authentic or just playing a role. And those questions are painful. Those questions shake the foundation of everything they have built. That is why distance sometimes feels safer to them than closeness. That is why they sometimes pull away right when you think they are coming closer. But here is the revelation most people never realize. Most people never understand this truth. This connection is not guaranteed to become a relationship. It may never become what you hope it will become, and that does not make it meaningless. Let me say that again because it is so important. Even if this never becomes a relationship, it is not meaningless. Even if this person never chooses you, this connection still matters. Some connections enter your life to awaken you, not to stay forever. They come to show you something, to teach you something, to reveal something, and then they leave, or they transform into something different than you expected. These connections reveal what you are capable of feeling. They show you the depth of emotion you can experience. They reveal what you deserve in a relationship. They show you what you must no longer settle for in your life. Stay with me, do not skip ahead. Something huge is waiting for you at the end. As time moves forward, one of two things will happen. Either circumstances will shift in a way that removes the barrier between you, or clarity will arrive that releases the attachment. Both of these outcomes are forms of resolution. Both are endings to this painful uncertainty. Both require patience from you, and both protect you more than you currently understand. Even the outcome that feels like loss is actually protection. Even the ending that breaks your heart is actually saving you from something that would hurt you more later. Pay attention to how this connection is changing you, not how it is changing them, not what they are doing or not doing, but how you are changing inside. Are you becoming more aware of your boundaries? Are you getting clearer about what you will and will not accept? Are you becoming more selective with your energy, more careful about who you give your time and attention to? Are you becoming more conscious of what you truly want in a relationship? Not what you think you should want, not what others expect you to want, but what you truly want deep in your soul. That is the real purpose unfolding here. That is what this is really about. This is not about waiting for someone else to decide your worth. This is not about hoping someone will finally choose you. This is about you stepping into a clearer version of yourself, a stronger version, a wiser version. Something is approaching. Can you feel it? A moment of truth, a realization, a decision that will make everything make sense finally. When it arrives, you will not feel chaos. You will not feel panic or fear or desperation. You will feel calm, a deep calm, a peaceful knowing. And in that calm, you will finally understand. You will understand why this connection had to remain forbidden, why it could not move forward easily, and why it appeared in your life at exactly this moment in your journey. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The hidden layer. My beloved friend, stay with me here. What you are about to understand now is the part most people never reach. Most people give up before they get to this understanding. They walk away too soon. They close their heart before the lesson is complete. This is where the hidden layer of this forbidden connection begins to reveal itself. The deeper meaning that was there all along but you could not see until now. Please stay focused, do not skip ahead. Something huge is waiting for you. There is a silent agreement forming between you and this person, even without words being spoken, even without any conversation about it, an unspoken rule. You may not have noticed it clearly, but it exists. An understanding that says, we feel this, but we will not name it. We know this is here, but we will not speak it out loud. This is not weakness. This silence is not cowardice. This is fear mixed with respect. They are afraid of crossing a line that cannot be uncrossed. Once certain words are spoken, they cannot be taken back. Once certain actions are taken, everything changes forever. And at the same time, they respect the weight of what this connection could become if it were allowed to breathe freely. If all the barriers were removed, if circumstances were different, they respect the power of what exists between you. Here is the shocking truth you must hear right now. The reason this person is so drawn to you is not because you fit perfectly into their life. It is the opposite. You challenge their life, you disrupt it. You represent a version of reality that does not match the one they carefully built over years. Being near you disrupts the story they tell themselves about who they are and where they are going. You make them question things they thought were settled. You make them feel things they thought they had outgrown or moved past. Do not skip this message, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. This is why their behavior may seem so inconsistent, so confusing. One moment they are attentive toward you, warm, open, present. The next moment they are distant, cold, unavailable, like they disappeared completely. One moment they seem deeply connected to you, like they really see you and care about you. The next moment they are emotionally gone, like they put up a wall between you that you cannot get through. This is not manipulation. They are not playing games with you. This is not them being cruel or enjoying your confusion. This is inner conflict. Their mind and their feelings are pulling in opposite directions. Their head says one thing, their heart says another, and neither is willing to surrender easily. You, on the other hand, are being tested in a different way. You are being asked to sit with uncertainty without losing your sense of self, to feel something deeply without letting it define your worth as a person. You are learning to recognize connection without becoming consumed by it, without losing yourself in it, without making it your entire identity or purpose. This is a rare lesson, a hard lesson, and it only appears when the stakes are high, when the risk is real, when the potential for pain is significant. Notice how this connection sharpens your awareness. You are more tuned in now, you notice details more, small things that others would miss. You read between the lines of conversations, you sense shifts in energy before words are spoken. You feel tension and attraction and distance all at the same time. This heightened perception is not accidental, it is not a side effect. It is being activated in you for a reason. You are being trained, your intuition is being strengthened, your ability to read situations and people is being developed. Stay with me, do not skip to the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is also a hidden protection in this situation. If this connection had moved forward too quickly, it would have collapsed under its own intensity. The weight of it would have been too much. It would have burned out fast and left both of you damaged. Boundaries, as painful as they feel right now, are preventing emotional damage that neither of you is prepared to handle yet. What feels like restriction is actually preservation. What feels like a wall is actually a shield protecting you both. Here is another revelation that may surprise you. This person already knows that this connection has changed them. Even if they never admit it out loud to anyone, even if they deny it if asked directly, deep inside they are aware. They know they think differently now than they did before they met you. They question more, they feel more deeply. They notice things they used to ignore, and they know it all started when you entered their awareness, when you came into their life or their mind or their field of vision. That realization alone is powerful, and it is irreversible. They cannot go back to who they were before, even if nothing ever happens between you, even if this connection never moves forward. They are changed permanently. But now something subtle is shifting. Can you feel it? The energy of this connection is no longer just about tension. It is no longer just about the pull between you. It is moving toward something new, toward clarity, toward resolution, toward truth. Small signs will begin to appear. You may not notice them at first. They will be subtle, but they will be there. Conversations may become more honest, more direct, less guarded. Distance may start to feel heavier than before, or suddenly the weight of silence may become unbearable for one of you. Do not skip this message. Stay until the very end. Something huge is waiting for you. The phase of truth. This is the phase where truth seeks expression. Not drama, not chaos, not an explosion or a scene or a confrontation, just truth, simple, clear, undeniable truth. And truth has a way of surfacing at the exact moment it can no longer be avoided. Truth waits patiently in the shadows until the time is exactly right. and then it steps forward into the light whether we are ready or not. When that moment arrives, it will not feel forced. It will not feel violent or shocking. It will feel inevitable, like it was always going to happen this way, like there was never any other possible outcome. Until then, your role is not to wait helplessly. Your role is not to sit around hopping and wishing and wondering. That is not what you are being asked to do. Your role is to stay grounded, to remain connected to yourself, to observe what is happening without attaching your entire future to someone else's choices, to honor what you feel without abandoning yourself in the process. This balance is everything. This is what determines how this story unfolds for you, not what they decide, but how you hold yourself through the uncertainty, how you maintain your dignity, how you keep your power. Very soon you will understand something clearly. You will understand whether this forbidden connection was meant to transform into something real or simply to awaken you to a deeper standard of connection that you will never again ignore in any relationship. Either way, you are not losing, even if it feels like loss. Even if this person never chooses you, even if nothing ever happens between you, you are not losing. You are being prepared, you are being refined, you are being made ready for what comes next in your life. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The turning point. My beloved friend, remain still with this moment. Stay present. What is rising now is the turning point. This is the phase that most people never recognize while they are inside it. They miss it completely because they are too focused on what they want to happen instead of what is actually happening. This is the phase where everything you felt before begins to demand an answer. The tension cannot stay quiet anymore. The unspoken cannot remain unspoken much longer. Please stay focused, do not skip ahead. Something huge is waiting for you. The tension you sense is not fading anymore. It is not getting lighter or easier to ignore. It is condensing. It is gathering. It is becoming more concentrated, more intense, more impossible to ignore. When emotions reach this stage, they no longer drift quietly in the background of life. They no longer hide politely behind normal conversation and daily routine. They start pressing against reality itself, pushing against the boundaries, testing the limits, demanding space to exist. This is why you may feel watched by fate right now, like something bigger than you is paying attention, like something is about to speak through circumstances rather than words, like the universe itself is preparing to intervene. That feeling is accurate, you are not imagining it. Something is shifting in the invisible realm before it becomes visible in the physical realm. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime truth that changes the entire meaning of this forbidden connection. Listen very carefully. The reason this connection has not collapsed yet, the reason it has not faded away or dissolved or ended, is because both of you are standing at the edge of a decision that reshapes identity, not just relationships. This is no longer about liking someone. This is no longer about missing someone or wanting to be with someone. This has become much bigger than that. This is about who you become. This is about the choice you make when truth and comfort stand on opposite sides, when authenticity and safety point in different directions. Do you choose truth over comfort, or do you choose safety over authenticity? This question is being asked of both of you right now, and how you each answer will determine everything that comes next. Stay with me, do not skip to the end. Something huge is waiting for you if you hear this entire message. They are reaching a limit. Silence has a lifespan. Silence can only last so long before it becomes unbearable, and that limit is approaching, that expiration date is coming closer. When a person carries feelings this intense for too long without expression, one of two things happens. Either they retreat completely to survive emotionally, or they speak in a way that cannot be taken back. There is no middle ground at this stage. This is why the atmosphere around this connection feels so heavy right now, almost electric, like the air before a storm. Something is building, a threshold is being approached. A line is about to be crossed one way or another. You may notice sudden changes in how they interact with you. Eye contact that lingers just a little longer than before. Messages or words that feel layered with hidden meaning. Things that sound casual on the surface but carry weight underneath. Or just as powerfully, you might notice an abrupt withdrawal, a sudden distance that feels deliberate rather than accidental. like they are pulling away on purpose, creating space intentionally because being too close has become too dangerous. These are not random shifts. These are not accidents or coincidences. These are signs of an inner countdown happening inside them. They are approaching a moment of decision, and their behavior is changing as that moment gets closer. Do not skip this message. Stay until the very end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your power in this moment. Here is what you must understand now with absolute clarity, with no doubt, with complete certainty. Whatever happens next is not meant to trap you in uncertainty forever. It is not meant to leave you hanging in this painful place of not knowing. It is meant to free you from uncertainty, to release you from confusion, to give you the clarity you have been seeking even if that clarity is not what you hoped for. The universe does not sustain tension without purpose. God does not allow painful situations to continue endlessly without meaning. When a connection reaches this level of intensity, when it carries this much weight and pressure, it must either transform or release. Remaining exactly the same, remaining unchanged in this frozen state is no longer an option. Something must give, something must shift, something must move. This is where your power becomes visible, not through action but through self-respect, not through chasing or demanding or forcing, but through calm, grounded presence. You are not meant to chase answers, you are not meant to force confessions, you are not meant to make them speak or decide or commit. That is not your role here. Your role is to maintain your calm, to stay grounded in who you are, to keep your sense of self even while feeling this intense connection. Your refusal to abandon your own worth, your dignity, your self-respect, this is what shapes the outcome more than anything else. You are being watched, not just by this person but by the situation itself, by the energy of this connection, by the universe, by God. How you handle yourself right now, how you maintain your center, how you refuse to lose yourself, this is what matters most. There is a hidden blessing inside this forbidden bond, a gift hidden in the pain. It has recalibrated your standards. It has reset your expectations. You now know how deeply you can be seen, how profoundly you can be felt, how intensely you can be desired and valued. This awareness will never leave you, regardless of who stays or goes, regardless of whether this person chooses you or walks away. You now know what is possible, you know what exists, you know what you are capable of experiencing in a connection. And you will never settle for less than that again. You cannot, even if you try. Your soul will reject anything that feels shallow after experiencing this depth. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Soon, very soon, clarity will arrive. It will come in a form you cannot misinterpret. It will be clear, undeniable, obvious. Maybe it will come through a conversation, a real, honest conversation where truth is finally spoken out loud. Maybe it will come through a decision, a choice made, a path taken, a door closed or opened. Maybe it will come through a sudden realization that lands in your heart without warning, a knowing that appears fully formed. When this clarity comes, it will not feel dramatic, it will not feel like a movie scene or a soap opera moment. It will feel clean, simple, certain, almost quiet, like settling into truth instead of fighting against it. And in that moment, something will happen inside you. The confusion that once surrounded this connection will dissolve. It will lift like fog burning away in morning sun. Everything that felt tangled will suddenly make sense. You will understand why restraint was necessary, why all this silence and waiting and distance was part of the design. You will understand why timing mattered more than emotion, why this connection had to walk the edge of possibility without crossing it too soon. And you will see clearly, with no doubt remaining, whether this person is meant to step into your life fully or step away so that something even more aligned, even more right, even more perfect for you can find you. This story is not ending yet, but it is preparing to reveal its truth. The truth has been forming all along, and now it is almost ready to show itself. Stay present, stay aware, stay grounded in yourself. Trust that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what is not meant for you cannot stay no matter how much you want it to. Do not skip this message, stay until the very end. Something huge is waiting for you. Deeper clarity emerges. My beloved friend, take a deep pause here. Breathe, center yourself. Because this is the moment where the truth you have been circling, the truth you have felt but could not name, finally begins to face you directly. What you feel now is not anticipation anymore. It is not hope or fear or wondering. It is recognition. It is the feeling of truth getting ready to reveal itself, like that moment before dawn when the sky starts to change even though the sun has not risen yet. Stay focused, do not skip ahead. Something huge is waiting for you. The energy of this forbidden connection has shifted again. Can you feel it? It is no longer just tension between two people, it has become something bigger. It has become a test of alignment, a test of truth, a test of whether both of you can face reality with courage. When feelings reach this depth, when they carry this much weight, they stop asking what if and start asking at what cost. This is why everything suddenly feels heavier, more serious, more real than before. This is no longer about fantasy or possibility or maybe someday. This is about actual choice, actual consequence, actual life-changing decision. Here is the revelation that few people are prepared to hear. Most people are not ready for this truth. The reason this person has not stepped forward yet is not because they lack courage. It is not because they are weak or cowardly or afraid in a simple way. It is because they already know the outcome of crossing that line. They see it clearly. They see the chain reaction it would trigger, like dominoes falling, one choice leading to another consequence, leading to another change, leading to another loss. They see what would be lost, what would be questioned, what would be broken, what would never return to the way it was, and that vision is clear enough to keep them frozen even while they burn with feeling. This awareness does not weaken their feelings, it actually sharpens them, makes them more intense, because they know what they want and they also know they cannot have it without destroying other things they care about. You may notice that when they are near you, their guard slips just slightly, just for a moment. There is a tone change, a softer presence, a vulnerability they do not show to others, a realness that appears and then disappears quickly when they remember themselves. These are not accidents, these are not your imagination. These are moments where restraint almost fails, where the wall almost comes down, where truth almost speaks itself before they catch it and push it back down. Stay with me, do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you at the end of this message. But now understand this clearly, with no confusion. A forbidden relationship reaches its peak not when two people finally unite. That is not the peak. The peak arrives when truth becomes unavoidable, when both people can no longer pretend or avoid or delay. That peak is approaching in your situation. This is the phase where pretending no longer works, where silence feels dishonest instead of protective, where distance feels louder than words, where the gap between you screams instead of whispers. You are also changing in this process. You are not the same person you were when this connection began. What once felt intoxicating now feels clarifying. What once felt exciting now feels revealing. You are beginning to see beyond the fantasy of this person and this connection. You are starting to see into the structure of reality, the actual facts of the situation, the real limitations and possibilities. You are recognizing what kind of connection you want to build your life around, what kind of relationship deserves your energy and time and heart, and what kind of connection you refuse to suffer for anymore. This shift inside you is critical. This is the most important change happening right now, not what they are doing, but what you are becoming. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The shocking clarity. Here is the shocking clarity that will change how you see this entire situation. This connection has already served part of its purpose. Whether it continues or ends, whether it transforms into something more or releases completely, it has already done something permanent inside you. It has awakened your discernment, your ability to see clearly, your capacity to recognize truth and depth and realness in connections. You are no longer willing to accept half-presence, surface-level conversation, hidden affection, delayed honesty, partial commitment. You now know what full presence feels like, you know what deep seeing feels like, you know what soul-level recognition feels like, and you will never again settle for less. You cannot, your soul will not allow it. That awareness alone is a victory, even if this specific connection never becomes what you hoped, Even if this person never chooses you, you have already won something valuable. You have gained something that cannot be taken from you. What comes next will not be accidental. A moment is being prepared, a moment where choice replaces confusion, where knowing replaces wondering, where you will no longer have to guess what this means or where it is going. You will know clearly, definitely, without doubt. And when that knowing arrives, when that clarity finally comes, you will feel something you might not expect. You will feel strangely peaceful. Even if the outcome surprises you, even if it is not what you wanted, there will be peace in the knowing, in the certainty, in the end of confusion. If this connection transforms into something real, it will do so through honesty and responsibility, not through secrecy, not through betrayal of others, not through destruction, but through truth spoken clearly and choices made consciously. If it releases, if it ends, it will do so with respect, not with regret, not with bitterness, not with the feeling that something was wasted or lost, but with the understanding that it served its purpose and now it is complete. Either path honors you more than lingering in uncertainty could ever do. Either outcome respects you more than staying frozen in this painful maybe. Remember this truth and hold it close to your heart. You were never meant to lose yourself inside someone else's dilemma. You were never meant to wait endlessly for someone else to decide if you are worth choosing. You were meant to discover your own clarity through this experience, to find your own strength, to know your own value, and that clarity is now within your reach, closer than you think. Stay with me, do not skip to the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Tell me before this message ends what you have learned and what you have understood today in the message. I also urge you, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, then realize that you are continuing to be overwhelmed by God's message, and so that you do not continue to be overwhelmed by God's message, then subscribe to my channel and share this video. The hidden meaning emerges. My beloved friend, stay right here, focus completely. This is the part where the hidden meaning finally steps forward out of the shadows. What you are feeling now is not confusion anymore. That fog has lifted. What you feel now is pressure, real, intense pressure. Pressure created when truth is ready to surface, when something that has been buried is ready to come up into the light. This forbidden connection has reached a silent climax. Not in action, not in what is happening externally, but in awareness, in understanding, in consciousness. Both of you now sense that things cannot continue in this undefined space forever. You both feel it even if neither of you has said it out loud. The unspoken tension has grown too strong. It has become too heavy to carry anymore. The energy between you is no longer subtle or easy to ignore. It is present everywhere, in pauses, in timing, in the way everything feels slightly charged when your paths cross, in the way even simple interactions carry weight. Here is the revelation that most people never hear until it is too late, until they have already made mistakes or lost opportunities. The reason this connection feels unforgettable is because it was never meant to be casual. It was designed to mark you, to change you, to alter how you love, to shift what you tolerate, to transform your understanding of connection and relationship and intimacy. Even if this person never fully steps into your life, even if nothing romantic or sexual or committed ever happens between you, they have already altered your internal compass forever. They have already changed the direction of your life, the trajectory of your future relationships. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They are standing at an internal crossroads right now. This very moment. They may not talk about it, they may not show it, but inside they are at a fork in the road. One path leads to staying exactly where they are, safe, predictable, emotionally contained, keeping everything the same, maintaining the status quo, protecting what they already have built even if it no longer fully satisfies them. The other path leads to truth, which feels risky, disruptive, irreversible, scary, uncertain, but also real, authentic, aligned with what they actually feel instead of what they think they should feel. This is why their energy feels restless when you sense them, why they seem unsettled, why nothing about them feels calm or steady anymore. You are sensing a decision forming inside them before it is spoken, before it becomes action, before it becomes real in the physical world. And here is something powerful you must understand about yourself. about where you are right now in this process. You are no longer waiting in the same way you were before. Something in you has matured, evolved, shifted. You are not desperate for answers anymore. You are not frantically trying to figure out what is happening or what will happen. You are not attached to a specific outcome in the same painful way you once were. You are prepared for the truth now, whatever it is. You are ready to hear it, to face it, to accept it. This internal shift changes everything. When you stop chasing clarity, clarity moves toward you. When you stop desperately needing to know, knowing comes naturally. When you release your grip on how things should be, things begin to reveal how they actually are. Stay focused, do not skip ahead. Something huge is waiting for you at the end. Signs of resolution. You may notice certain signs appearing, small things that feel significant, moments that carry weight even though they seem ordinary on the surface. Maybe there is a look that holds longer than usual, eye contact that does not break as quickly as it normally does, a gaze that searches your face like they are trying to memorize you or understand you or say something without words. Maybe there is a message that feels intentional, words chosen carefully, timing that seems significant, something said that sounds casual but you know it is not casual at all. There is meaning layered underneath. Or maybe there is a silence that feels final rather than uncertain, a quiet that feels like an ending instead of a pause, a distance that feels like a decision being made rather than just space being created. These are signals not of loss but of resolution approaching, not of failure but of clarity coming. The undefined is getting ready to define itself, the unclear is preparing to become clear. This is the stage where destiny tests self-respect. This is where the universe wants to see something important about you. Will you honor yourself regardless of what choice the other person makes? Will you maintain your dignity even if they walk away? Will you remain grounded in your value even if they choose safety over truth? Will you keep your power even if the outcome is not what you imagined? This question, how you answer this question, matters more than the relationship itself. It matters more than whether they choose you. It matters more than whether this connection becomes what you hoped. Because this is about who you are, not about who they are or what they decide. This is about your character, your strength, your self-love, your boundaries. Here is the truth that completes this phase of understanding. Forbidden connections are never about stealing someone away. They are not about being chosen over another person. They are not about winning or competing or taking what belongs to someone else. Forbidden connections are about revealing what is missing, misaligned, or unfinished within both people. They are mirrors. They show you what you are not getting, what you are not being, what you are not allowing yourself to want or need or ask for. And once that revelation is complete, once you have seen clearly what was hidden before, the connection no longer needs to remain painful. It no longer needs to stay forbidden or complicated or impossible. Something is about to become so clear that you will stop questioning the past entirely. You will stop wondering why things happened the way they did. You will stop asking what if or if only or maybe. When that moment of clarity arrives, you will feel relief, not regret. You will feel strength, not loss. You will feel peace, not pain. Because you will finally understand. You will understand completely why this connection entered your life, why it could not move freely, why it carried so much weight and intensity, and why it has brought you exactly to this point in your journey. Do not skip this message. Stay until the very end. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved friend, do not move yet. Stay present. This is the moment when the unseen line is finally crossed, not by action but by understanding, not by someone making a move but by truth finally becoming impossible to ignore. What has been building quietly beneath the surface is now demanding recognition. It will not stay hidden anymore. It cannot. This forbidden connection you have been feeling has reached its final test. Not a test of love, not a test of desire or attraction or chemistry, but a test of truth. A test of whether both of you can face reality with courage and honesty. At this stage, the universe no longer allows emotional fog. God no longer permits confusion to continue. Everything begins to feel sharp, clear, focused, almost unavoidable. This is why your intuition feels louder than ever before. Why you know things without being told, why you sense things before they happen. Your inner voice is shouting now instead of whispering, demanding that you pay attention, demanding that you see clearly. Here is the once-in-a-lifetime revelation, the truth that changes everything when you really understand it. This forbidden connection was never meant to be permanent in its current form. It was never meant to stay frozen in this painful in-between place forever. It was always meant to evolve, to change, to transform into one of two things, either into honesty that restructures lives or into release that restructures you. Remaining suspended between these two possibilities is no longer an option. The universe will not allow it. Time is up. Decision time has arrived. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. You may already sense this shift. The waiting feels different now. It does not feel hopeful anymore. It does not feel painful in the same way. It feels resolved, like something has already been decided even though the decision has not been announced yet. That is because your soul already knows. Your soul has already accepted what your mind is just beginning to understand. Deep inside you, beneath all the thoughts and fears and hopes, you already know how this will end. They know it too, even if they never speak it out loud, even if they never admit it to anyone, including themselves. They are aware that the next step cannot be avoided much longer. The weight of unspoken truth has become heavier than the risk of speaking it. The cost of silence has become greater than the cost of honesty. This internal calculation is shifting. The balance is tipping. This is why their energy around you may feel different lately, more intense, more focused, more serious, or suddenly more distant as they brace themselves for what they know is coming. But listen carefully now, because this part is crucial. This part will protect your heart if you really hear it. Whatever happens next is not a reflection of your worth. It is not about whether you are good enough or lovable enough or valuable enough. Whatever choice they make, whatever path this takes, it is a reflection of their readiness, their courage, their capacity to handle truth and change and consequence, not your worth. Your value was never dependent on whether this connection could be made public or permanent. You are valuable because of who you are, period, not because of who chooses you. Stay with me, do not skip to the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The elevation. This experience has already elevated you. Can you see that? Can you feel it? You are no longer drawn to surface-level bonds. You are no longer interested in shallow connection or casual attention or half-hearted effort. You now recognize emotional depth immediately. You feel alignment faster. You sense truth and pretense more clearly than ever before. You know the difference between someone being polite and someone actually seeing you. This awareness will guide every future connection you allow into your life. You will never again accept someone who cannot meet you in that deep place, who cannot see you fully, who cannot match your intensity and authenticity and depth. Soon something will be said, or something will be silently decided that ends the uncertainty. When it happens, you will not feel shocked or caught off guard. You will not be devastated or destroyed. You will feel steady, grounded, almost calm, like you have been preparing for this moment all along without realizing it. And in that steadiness, you will realize something profound. You were never meant to beg for clarity. You were never meant to chase someone or convince them of your worth or wait desperately for them to decide. You were meant to be prepared for truth, to be strong enough to handle it, to be centered enough to receive it without falling apart. This is the power hidden inside forbidden connections. They do not take from you, they do not diminish you or reduce you or make you less than you were. They refine you, they strengthen you, they polish you. They strip away illusions and leave you with truth. They remove false beliefs and replace them with clear seeing. They dissolve pretense and reveal reality. And truth, once revealed, never leaves you confused again. Once you have seen clearly, you cannot go back to blindness. Once you have felt deeply, you cannot go back to numbness. Once you have known real connection, you cannot settle for fake connection. Do not skip this message, stay until the very end. Something huge is waiting for you. The approaching moment. My beloved friend, we are approaching the moment. Can you feel it? The energy is shifting. The pressure is building toward release, like water behind a dam, like air before a storm breaks. This is not about drama, this is not about chaos or destruction or pain, this is about truth finally having space to exist, about honesty finally being allowed to speak, about reality finally being acknowledged instead of avoided. The person who has been carrying these feelings for you is reaching a point where they can no longer sustain the pretense, where the gap between what they feel and what they show is becoming too wide, too painful, too exhausting to maintain. You will know when this moment arrives, not because of grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but because something in the energy will shift, something in the silence will change, something in the space between you will feel different. It might come through a conversation that goes deeper than usual, words that reveal more than intended, honesty that slips out before they can catch it. It might come through a decision that changes circumstances, a choice made, a boundary set, a path taken that makes certain things impossible and other things necessary. It might come through a sudden withdrawal that feels final, a distance that communicates decision rather than confusion, a silence that says everything without saying anything. However it comes, you will recognize it, your soul will know, your intuition will confirm it, and you will realize that the waiting is over, the wondering is done, the uncertainty has ended. What comes after this moment depends on many things, on their courage, on circumstances, on timing, on what they are willing to risk, on what they are able to face. But one thing is certain, one thing is absolutely true regardless of what happens, you will not be the same person after this moment as you were before it. You are being transformed through this experience, not broken, not damaged, not diminished, transformed, made stronger, made clearer, made more aware. Stay focused, do not skip ahead, something huge is waiting for you. Understanding your value. Right now, in this moment, I need you to understand something about yourself that you may have forgotten while caught up in this connection. I need you to remember who you are beneath all the longing and wondering and hopping. You are not half of something waiting to be completed by another person. You are not incomplete waiting for someone to choose you to become whole. You are already whole, already complete, already enough exactly as you are. This connection did not create your value, it revealed it. This person did not give you worth, they saw worth that was already there, and whether they fully step into your life or step away, that worth remains. You carry something rare, something that very few people possess in this world. You carry the ability to truly see people, to make them feel seen in a way they rarely experience anywhere else. You have depth, real depth, not the shallow appearance of depth, but actual emotional and spiritual capacity that goes down deep into your soul. When people encounter you, when they really connect with you, they feel something they do not feel with most others. That is why this person has not been able to forget you or dismiss you or move on easily. That is why this connection has weight, because you have substance, real substance. Never forget this, especially if this connection ends or changes into something other than what you hoped. Your power, your value, your depth, these things do not depend on whether one specific person can receive them fully. There are people in this world who will be ready for what you carry, who will be able to meet you in that deep place without fear or hesitation, who will not need barriers or boundaries or distance to feel safe around you. Those people exist. And if this person is not one of them, if circumstances or fear or commitment prevents them from fully stepping into this connection, then something better aligned is waiting for you. I know that might be hard to hear right now. I know you might want this specific person, this specific connection, but trust the wisdom of what is unfolding. Trust that what is meant for you will find you, and what is not meant for you will pass by, making room for what truly belongs in your life. Stay with me, do not skip to the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The wisdom in timing. There is wisdom in the timing of how this has unfolded. Even though it has been painful, there is purpose in the pace. If this connection had rushed forward too quickly, it would have burned out. If it had become physical or committed before the emotional foundation was solid, it would have collapsed. The slowness, as frustrating as it has been, has actually protected something precious. It has allowed both of you to feel the depth before making choices, to understand the weight before taking action, to count the cost before paying the price. This matters more than you might realize right now. Many people rush into connections based on intensity alone. They feel the spark and they chase it immediately without pausing to ask important questions, without considering consequences, without understanding what they are really stepping into. You have not done that. You have been forced to sit with this feeling, to examine it, to understand it, to see it clearly from every angle, and that examination has given you wisdom. You know now that this is not just about attraction, not just about wanting someone, not just about chemistry or compatibility. This is about truth, about authenticity, about alignment, about whether two people can come together with honesty instead of secrecy. That awareness changes everything. It means that if this does move forward, it will be built on a solid foundation. And if it does not move forward, you will know exactly why. You will understand the reasons, and you will be able to walk away with your head held high instead of with regret or bitterness. Many forbidden connections end badly because people make impulsive choices. They act on feeling without thinking about consequence. They cross lines that should not be crossed. They hurt people who do not deserve to be hurt. They create chaos and damage and regret. You have not done that. This connection, as painful as the waiting has been, has unfolded with a certain integrity, a certain respect for what is at stake, and that will matter enormously in how this resolves. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Preparing for resolution. As this moves toward its natural conclusion, toward its moment of truth and clarity, there are some things you need to prepare yourself for emotionally and mentally. First, prepare yourself to accept either outcome with grace. Either this person will find the courage to face truth and make space for this connection in their life honestly, or they will choose to protect what they already have and create definitive distance. Both outcomes are valid, both have integrity if done honestly. Both can be respected if handled with maturity and care for all involved. If they step forward, if they choose truth, you will need to be clear about what you are willing to accept. You cannot enter into something that requires secrecy or dishonesty toward others. You cannot build a real relationship on a foundation of betrayal or deception. If they step forward, it must be clean, honest, with proper endings to what needs to end and proper beginnings to what is starting. Otherwise, you will be building on sand instead of rock, and it will not stand. If they step back, if they choose distance, you will need to honor that choice without trying to change their mind. Without begging or convincing or waiting around hoping they will change. You will need to release them fully and turn your attention toward your own healing and future. Both of these possibilities require strength from you. Both require maturity and self-respect. Both require you to stay grounded in your value regardless of what someone else decides. Second, prepare yourself for the fact that clarity might not come in the exact way or time you expect. Truth has its own schedule. It emerges when it is ready, not when we demand it. You cannot force this moment. You cannot make it happen faster by pushing or demanding or creating ultimatums. All you can do is stay present, stay clear, stay honest with yourself about what you feel and what you need. The moment will come. It always does when something has been building this long with this much intensity, but it will come in its own time, in the right way, in the way that serves the highest good of all involved. Third, prepare yourself to forgive. Forgive yourself for feeling what you feel even though the situation is complicated. Forgive them for not being able to move toward you as freely as you might wish. Forgive the circumstances that created this barrier. Forgive the timing that made this difficult. Forgiveness does not mean pretending nothing hurt. It means releasing the anger and resentment so they do not poison your future, so they do not keep you stuck in bitterness. Stay focused, do not skip ahead. Something huge is waiting for you. What you have J.I.N.D. Let me tell you clearly what you have already gained from this experience, what cannot be taken from you now regardless of what happens next. You have gained clarity about what you want in a relationship. You know now that you are not interested in surface-level connection. You cannot be satisfied with casual or convenient or comfortable. You need depth. You need to be truly seen. You need someone who can meet you in that vulnerable, authentic, deep place. This knowing will guide every future relationship. You will recognize quickly when someone cannot give you what you need, and you will not waste time trying to make it work anyway. You will trust yourself enough to walk away early rather than investing years in something that was never going to satisfy you. You have gained awareness of your own emotional capacity. You now know how deeply you can feel, how intensely you can connect, how profoundly you can care about someone. This is a gift, even though it has brought pain in this situation. Many people go through life never experiencing this level of feeling. They have surface relationships and shallow connections, and they wonder why nothing feels meaningful. You do not have that problem. You know you are capable of deep love, and that capacity, once discovered, becomes a strength. You have gained respect for boundaries. You have learned that some things cannot be rushed. Some barriers exist for good reasons. Some distances need to be maintained until the time is right for them to close. This wisdom will protect you in the future. It will keep you from making impulsive choices that you would regret later. It will help you honor commitments and respect other people's relationships even when you feel attracted or connected. You have gained humility. You have learned that you cannot control other people's choices. You cannot make someone choose you. You cannot force someone to have courage they do not possess. You cannot create readiness that does not exist. This humility is hard-won but valuable. It will save you from wasting energy trying to change people or convince people or wait for people who are not truly available. You have gained faith in timing. You have learned that some things need to unfold slowly, that delay is not always denial, that waiting is not always wasted time, that sometimes the process of getting ready is as important as the outcome itself. This faith will serve you well in every area of life, not just relationships. It will help you trust the journey instead of only focusing on the destination. All of these gains are permanent. They are yours now. Whether this connection continues or ends, you keep these treasures. They go with you into everything that comes next. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The truth about love. Let me tell you something true about love. Real love, the kind that lasts and grows and transforms people, is not primarily about feeling. It is about choice. Feelings are important. They are the spark that starts things, the attraction that brings people together, the chemistry that makes connection exciting and intense. But feelings alone cannot sustain a relationship. Feelings change, they rise and fall like waves, they intensify and fade depending on circumstances and stress and time. Real love is the choice to stay committed even when the feeling is not as intense. The choice to work through difficulty instead of running away. The choice to honor commitment even when something or someone else looks attractive. This person you are connected to is facing exactly this kind of choice right now. They feel something powerful for you. The feeling is real, the attraction is genuine, the connection is authentic. But they also have existing commitments, existing relationships, existing responsibilities, and they are being forced to choose between what they feel and what they have committed to. This is not an easy choice. Do not minimize how difficult this is for them. They are not a villain for hesitating. They are a human being dealing with a genuinely complicated situation where there is no perfect option. If they choose to honor their existing commitments even though they feel strongly about you, that is actually a sign of character. It shows they take promises seriously. It shows they consider others, not just themselves. It shows they can restrain feeling when necessary. And while that choice might hurt you, might disappoint you, might not be what you hoped for, it is not necessarily the wrong choice. Sometimes the right choice is the one that protects the most people from harm, even if it means one person does not get what they want. If they choose to end their existing commitment to pursue this connection with you, that is also a valid choice if done honestly and respectfully. If they are willing to face the consequences, if they are willing to have hard conversations and make clean endings. But understand that if they make this choice, you need to watch carefully how they handle it. Because how someone ends one relationship tells you a lot about how they might end a relationship with you someday if things become difficult. Do they end with honesty and respect, or with lies and sneaking around? Do they take responsibility for their choice, or do they blame others? Do they handle it with maturity or with drama and chaos? These details matter. They will tell you whether this person is capable of the kind of love you deserve, the kind that is built on integrity, not just intensity. Stay with me, do not skip to the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your path forward. Regardless of what this person decides, you have a path forward. You have a future beyond this moment, beyond this connection, beyond this chapter of your life. That path might include this person if they choose to walk it with you honestly. Or that path might lead away from them towards something else, someone else, some other form of connection and love and fulfillment. Either way, the path exists. Your life is not on hold waiting for someone else's decision. Your value is not dependent on their choice. Your future is not determined by whether they have courage or not. You must make your own choices now about how you want to move forward, about what you are willing to accept and what you are not, about where you draw your boundaries, about what you will wait for and what you will not. I encourage you to get very clear with yourself about these things, not to pressure anyone else, not to give ultimatums or make demands, but for your own clarity and peace. Ask yourself, how long am I willing to stay in this uncertain place? What would need to change for me to feel comfortable continuing this connection? What behaviors would cause me to walk away? What kind of relationship am I actually seeking? These questions are for you, for your own understanding, for your own decision-making. Answer them honestly without worrying about whether the answers are reasonable or not. This is about your truth, not about being perfect or mature or understanding. And then once you have answered them, honor those answers. Follow through on what you said you would do. Do not abandon yourself by crossing your own boundaries just because you want this person so badly. Your self-respect in this moment matters more than this relationship. How you treat yourself, how you honor your own needs and limits, how you maintain your standards, this shapes your entire future, not just this one connection. If this person cannot meet you where you need to be met, if they cannot give you what you actually need in a relationship, then letting go is not losing. It is winning. It is choosing yourself. It is honoring your truth. And when you do that, when you love yourself enough to release what is not right for you even when it hurts, you create space for what is right to find you. The universe rewards self-respect. God blesses boundaries. Life responds to clarity. When you know what you will and will not accept and you actually live according to that knowing, doors open that were closed before. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The bigger picture. Step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture of your life. This connection, as intense as it feels right now, is one chapter, one experience, one teacher in a long series of teachers. You had a life before this person appeared. You had value and purpose and meaning before they came into your awareness. And you will have value and purpose and meaning after this situation resolves, whatever form that resolution takes. This is not your whole story. This is not your only chance at deep connection. This is not the last time someone will see you truly and feel drawn to you powerfully. The intensity of this experience does not mean it is meant to be forever. Sometimes the most intense experiences are actually the briefest. They come to teach us something specific and then they move on. Do not confuse intensity with destiny. Do not confuse feeling with fate. Do not assume that because something feels powerful, it must be meant to last forever. Some connections are meant to be lifelong. They grow and deepen and last through decades. They weather storms and challenges and changes. They become the foundation of family and partnership and shared life. Other connections are meant to be brief. They come in like a storm, shake everything up, reveal truths that needed to be revealed, and then they pass. They leave you changed, but they do not stay. Both kinds are valuable, both kinds serve a purpose, both kinds are gifts in their own way. Right now you do not know yet which kind this connection is, and that uncertainty is hard. The not knowing is painful, but you will know soon. The truth always reveals itself eventually. In the meantime, trust that there is meaning in this experience regardless of how long it lasts. Trust that you are learning something valuable. Trust that you are being prepared for something. Maybe you are being prepared to receive the real relationship that is meant for you. Maybe this is teaching you to recognize depth so you will not miss it when it appears in someone who is actually available. Maybe you are being prepared to release something in yourself that has been blocking love. Maybe this intensity is cracking open something in your heart that needed to crack open. Maybe you are being prepared simply to understand yourself better, to know what you need, to recognize your patterns, to see where you give away your power and where you need to reclaim it. All of these are valuable preparations. All of these are worth the pain of this experience. All of these will serve you for the rest of your life. Stay focused, do not skip ahead. Something huge is waiting for you. As we come toward the end of this message, I want to leave you with some final wisdom, some truth to hold onto as you navigate what comes next. First truth, you are stronger than you think. You have already survived the hardest part of this, which is feeling deeply for someone you cannot easily be with. You have already endured the uncertainty, the silence, the distance, the confusion. If you can survive that, you can survive anything that comes next, including clarity that disappoints you. Second truth, your feelings are valid even if they are not acted upon. You do not need to feel ashamed or guilty for feeling what you feel. Connection happens, attraction happens. Sometimes it happens with people it should not happen with. That does not make you bad, it makes you human. Third truth, you cannot control what other people feel or choose. You can only control your own choices, your own boundaries, your own behavior. Focus on what is actually in your power. Release what is not. Fourth truth, time reveals everything. What is confusing now will become clear. What seems impossible now will either become possible or you will see clearly why it was never meant to be. Have patience. Trust the process of revelation. Fifth truth, you deserve someone who chooses you freely, not someone who chooses you in secret, not someone who chooses you while hiding you. Not someone who chooses you with shame or guilt or fear, someone who chooses you openly, proudly, without hesitation. If this person cannot be that for you, that is information, that is truth. And that truth, while painful, is actually a gift because it prevents you from investing more of your life in something that cannot give you what you need. Sixth truth, this experience is not a waste, even if nothing comes of it romantically. Even if it ends in disappointment. You have learned, you have grown, you have discovered things about yourself, you have raised your standards, you have deepened your capacity. None of that is wasted. Seventh truth, the right relationship will not require this much struggle at the beginning. Yes, good relationships require work, but that work should be about building together, not overcoming impossible barriers just to be together. If being together requires destruction and pain and chaos, that is a sign something is wrong, not a sign it is meant to be. Eighth truth, you will love again. If this does not work out, you will feel this deeply again with someone else. Maybe even more deeply because you will be even more aware, even more open, even more ready. This is not your last chance at love. Ninth truth, trust your intuition. You already know deep down what is true about this situation. You already sense where this is heading. Listen to that inner knowing even if it contradicts what you want to be true. 10th truth, you are loved by something greater than any human relationship. Whether you believe in God or the universe or life force or consciousness, there is something that sees you, values you, guides you, protects you. You are not alone even in your loneliest moments. Do not skip, stay until the end. Something huge is waiting for you. My beloved friend, we have walked through this entire journey together. From the beginning where I told you about this forbidden connection, through all the layers of understanding, all the revelations, all the wisdom. You now understand what this connection is. You understand why it has been so intense. You understand why it has had to remain hidden. You understand what it is teaching you. You understand what it is revealing about you and about them. You understand that this is not just about desire or wanting to be with someone. This is about truth, about timing, about choice, about who you are becoming through this experience. You understand that whatever happens next, you are not losing. You are gaining clarity, gaining strength, gaining wisdom, gaining awareness. The moment of resolution is coming. Maybe it is already here. Maybe you will know very soon, within days or weeks, how this unfolds, or maybe it will take a bit longer. But it is coming. The waiting is almost over. When that moment arrives, remember everything you have learned here. Remember your value, remember your strength. Remember that you deserve full presence, full honesty, full commitment from whoever shares your life. Do not settle for half love. Do not accept hidden affection. Do not build your life around someone who cannot be fully present with you. And if this person can step forward honestly, if they can choose truth over comfort, if they can meet you in that deep, authentic place without barriers or secrets, then something beautiful might unfold. But if they cannot, if they choose to stay where they are, if they choose safety over authenticity, then release them with grace, with forgiveness, with understanding that they did the best they could with where they are in their journey. And then turn your attention toward your own healing, toward your own growth, toward your own future, toward the love that is actually meant for you. Because somewhere out there, the right person exists. Someone who will see you just as deeply as this person did, someone who will feel just as intensely, but who will also be free, available, ready, able to step into relationship with you without destroying other lives in the process. That person is coming. Or maybe they are already here and you will recognize them more clearly now because of what you have learned through this experience. Trust the journey, trust the timing. Trust that what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what is not meant for you cannot stay no matter how much you want it to. You are going to be okay, better than okay. You are going to be transformed by this, made stronger, made clearer, made more ready for real love when it comes. And now, my dear friend, if this message has touched your heart, if it has helped you understand what you are experiencing, if it has given you clarity or comfort or strength, I ask you to do something. Subscribe to this channel. Click that subscribe button right now. Leave a comment below telling me how this message spoke to you, and share this video with anyone you know who might be experiencing a forbidden connection or complicated love situation. Your subscription helps this message reach more people who need to hear it. Your comment helps me know that this work matters. Your share helps someone else find the clarity they desperately need. Thank you for staying with me until the end. Thank you for being open to this message. Thank you for having the courage to feel deeply even when it is complicated and painful. You are loved, you are seen, you are valued, and your story is not over. The best chapters might still be ahead of you. May you find peace, may you find clarity, may you find the love you truly deserve. This is God's message to you today. Receive it with an open heart. Subscribe, comment, and share now, and may your journey forward be blessed with truth, courage, and authentic love.